What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Coffee and Grit. And I'm super excited. I am super excited today. Not often do you have a difference maker out in the community that you're actually like kind of related to. And so I'm super excited. And then this is the other thing. So Siobhan Reigle, we're having the studio today. We're going to get into her story. And you guys know that often I know a lot about the people that I have on, or we've had a lot of different conversations. And this sounds weird that we haven't had necessarily the one-on-one conversations and the in-depth conversations, but Siobhan and Todd, my cousin, have been around the world, around the country for a long time, just recently moved here in town. And like I said, it's really cool. I'm host, and she's reached out to me a couple times, and she came to one of the boot camps a few months ago. And so I'm watching what she's doing and what she's building and what she's undertaking as an entrepreneur. Is she's jumping in and doing like 75 hard, and you're looking at some of the personal development stuff, and so she reached out, and I'm like, let's have a conversation. One, I want to get to know you, but what better way to do it than when you're sitting around here in the studio with all these cameras, right? And again, it's all about getting that story out, creating that content for people out there. That's like, you're grinding and you're trying to do something where you're making a difference. And it's like, how do I get out there? I was just telling Siobhan when I started, I was sitting in my house and I knew I needed to make content. I knew that, in order to get my story and my difference out there, I needed to have quantify my time in content as a way. And you look at social media, it's the best free resource that we have out there where we can really go out and reach the masses. During 2020, when COVID struck and all my ways of creating revenue like disappeared, because the way that I was getting new clients was going out and speaking at events, going out and networking and meeting people in the community. All of a sudden, all of that stuff was turned off. And so I had to turn solely to social media and solely to content creation. And it was what was able to not only keep me afloat, but it was able to thrive during a time where it was really, really hard to get business. And so I'm really passionate about helping people really get out there and tell their story. Like you guys all know that if you've been listening, but it's exciting to be able to have Siobhan in the studio. So welcome.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me.
My pleasure. My pleasure. So, and it's really awesome because we moved into the studio and you guys were moving into South Lyon.
Yeah,
so I'm like,
we were.
You're pretty close.
Yeah, we're close. Yeah. We just moved back to Michigan a year ago after my husband retired from the Coast Guard after 32 years. And he wanted to move back home to Michigan. And we have a little hockey player too. So it made sense.
It definitely makes sense with the hockey.
Yeah, so I was actually, the reason why I ended up in South Lyon, I can tell you that if you'd like.
Yeah,
my
definitely.
whole story.
Yeah.
I'm originally from Limerick, Ireland. Yeah, when I was 20 years old, I moved to Grand Cayman. I moved to the Cayman Islands. Back in Ireland, there was an ad for a job in the paper for the Hyatt Resorts were hiring people in the hospitality industry. And I applied, I got the job, and I'm like, okay, I'm going to do this. It was like a 6-month contract, I believe. And I went there, and then I ended up staying there 3 years in the Grand Cayman. Paradise, right?
This sounds amazing.
Yeah. Because, in Ireland it was lovely, but I wanted to travel. I've always wanted to travel ever since I was younger. And I always wanted to live in America at some point too. My dad was someone that really loved the United States. He worked at the airport and he used to meet a lot of American people, and he used to always tell us how great American people were. And as a child, watching TV shows, I was like, oh my gosh, I want to live there. It's so cool. The people are so cool, But yeah, and then I after living in Grand Cayman, I moved to Key West, Florida. My friend and I looked at the map and we said, okay, let's pick something on the map. Something that's a little warm, not hot, right? So we ended up in Key West, Florida. We closed our eyes. I remember closing my eyes and I put my finger on the map and it was Key West. So I moved there and I worked there like 3 different jobs. I was a waitress. I worked really hard, but we also had, fun, good time. And I met my husband there. I met Todd there in an Irish pub of all places. He used to visit there with his friends. One of them had a crush on my English friend. So, they used to come in all the time. And and then after Key West, We moved to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and we got married there. And yeah, so we've moved around a lot of times. We've moved all over Florida. We've moved to Alaska, California, New Jersey, back to Florida. Yeah, we've moved a lot during our time with the Coast Guard. So,
What was your favorite place?
oh, everyone asks me that.
I bet. Yeah.
I always love Florida because I don't know, it's just a great time there, and it's had a good time in my life there. I feel too. It's got a big place in my heart there. My parents used to come there a lot and visit us, and I loved parts of California because we did a lot of camping there, and the scenery there is beautiful. And I met some great friends there. And then I also loved Alaska because it's so gorgeous there. You know, I've no really favorite place. They all have their own special place. Yeah.
When you were in Alaska, did you experience like the 28 days of light in the night and all that kind of stuff? Or were you
Well,
I didn't know, and I don't know how all that works.
yeah.
I'm
So
very,
yeah, we lived in Kodiak, which is more south than Fairbanks. So
okay.
it would get so in the winter it would get bright at 10 o'clock in the morning, and then it would be dark at like 4. And then in
Mm.
summer, it would be the sun would be way up in the sky and it would be midnight. It was weird. Yeah. So we'd have to get blackout curtains so my kids would go to sleep and things like that, you know.
I would be
It never,
golfing.
yeah.
I would be golfing at like 11 o'clock at
Yeah,
night.
it was very odd because there was nobody, or like it was, we lived on Coast Guard base, which was really nice. But there was no one out and about at 12 o'clock at midnight, you know, because everyone was sleeping, but it was sun was shining. It was odd, but it was gorgeous there. Yeah.
That's amazing.
It was hard. My husband was away a lot on the ship, and I had a newborn there, and I had 2 young kids, so it was hard for me. It was a challenge. I would put it that way. It was the hardest place I've lived, you know, for myself. I think it was just hard in that sense. You know, being a military wife is hard when they're going away all the time and raising a family and things like that. I was never around family ever, but my Coast Guard friends were our family, you know, so it was good.
It's awesome. There's a sense of like building connections in so many different places.
Yes, so we have so many different connections all over, like every state you could see that we've been in. Yeah, and that's the hard part too, as a military wife. You get to make so many great friends, and you get really close, and then you have to leave them. So yeah, but that's part of it, and I think it makes you stronger.
Well, and it's got to be something where, you know, like a long time ago, you probably, you know, you move away and you can have phone conversations and stuff like that. Now, you know, going back to the social media and talking about that, you probably still have a better time keeping up with everybody.
Yeah, I think now since I started this entrepreneurship journey I'm on, I've started connecting back up with people, which is funny. And I see people, I know they see me on Facebook, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they haven't seen me in 20 years. They're going to see me on Facebook with like wrinkles and looking older and, you know, but I mean, I didn't know anything about social media before I started this business, you know. I didn't know what a reel was, what a story was, what all the things. Algorithm, I didn't even know what that meant like 6 months ago.
If somebody said algorithm before, you'd have no
Well,
idea
what is
what are you
that?
talking
No,
about.
'cause I had no idea. I didn't do social media. I would post pictures of my kids and that's it.
Yeah.
You know, at a game or their birthday, or stayed in touch with some people that way. But it wasn't my thing. Yeah.
I can totally resonate with you because before I
Yeah.
started my business, I had social media. I posted stuff here and there, but I didn't use it like I use it now. And there are people that now they're like, there's no way you didn't use it. And to the point where
Right.
I had people, I was in a leadership position. I was a director of sales for my company. And so many of my people were like, Jason, you need to start creating content. You need to put stuff out there. You need to put stuff out there. And I just thought, you know, someday, it's not going to be hard. I just need to make time for it. And that's one of those things that's actually a lot harder than you think
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
in your mind. To
Yeah.
me, it was a mindset thing.
Yeah. So, I mean, I've had a lot of different jobs, you know, moving around and stuff. Wow. I've been a waitress. I've been a banker. I've been a personal trainer. I started a little business like about 20 years ago. My daughter was a baby. I was stroller fit. It was like exercising with moms and babies.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. I did that for a year, and then we had to move. So I let it go. And I've always had a passion though for like fitness and wellness. That's been my thing, you know. And you know, I've been a runner. I've done marathons and things like that. I've always liked to be active. And looking back now, I'm like, oh my gosh, why did I not pursue this? You know, I had that imposter syndrome they talk about, where I can't do that. I'm not good enough for that. There's other people that are better at talking or better at posting or better at all the things. So I just forgot about it and just lived my life, right? And raised my kids and did the thing, did the basic. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, I'm a teacher assistant now. I've been a teacher assistant the last 6 years. I always wanted to stay home with my kids though when they were small. I didn't want to have to go work for somebody else. So I worked around like my husband's a job, doing different jobs. I would teach classes like fitness classes at the Coast Guard base in Alaska. And then I did boot camp in New Jersey for the Coast Guard moms there. And that was a lot of fun too. But I wish knowing now, I'm like, oh my gosh, I should have just looked more into it. Imagine now, 20 years later, I could have been something. I mean, everything is on social media now and with health, fitness and recipes and all the things.
Though, it's one of those things we can always look back in the rearview mirror. But, now you can look back at it and be like, I'm on the right path now, or like, here's the things that prepared you now for this situation.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, like, it's never too late, and that's why, oh my gosh, I can get on here and I can tell people, what, if you're a mom and if you're like afraid to start something new, I was that mom. I was afraid to start something new. I was afraid to get out of my comfort zone. And when you feel that nudge, and I was feeling the nudge, my kids are a little older now, they're teenagers and they don't need me as much. And I'm like, holy crap, what am I going to do with myself? I want to do something. I want to be busy. I want to like take advantage of, just make the most of my life or what's out there. There's so much opportunity out there, especially online, and being able to work from the comfort of your home or work from anywhere. There's so many things out there. I had no idea. I didn't even know, like up to a year ago, I was sitting on the sidelines and I was going to TikTok. I never even used TikTok. And I saw these moms and they're selling courses. I'm like, what the heck are they doing? They're making all this money. If they can do it, I can do it. So I bought the course. I went on TikTok for a month or so last summer, and I hated every second of it because I was talking to myself.
Yeah. You can resonate.
For so long. It was so uncomfortable. And then this company I'm with now, MWR Life, came across my feed one day. I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this? Travel. I want to learn more about this, And so I jumped in and I joined, and it's been a great journey so far. In regards to self-development, that's the thing that shocked me the most, is that, oh my gosh, what I'm learning with this company and the people that are in here, our leaders are incredible. They're amazing people. And like you were saying earlier, surrounding yourself with people with the same goals, they understand the same passion for whatever it is that you want.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is shocking, but not everybody is that way.
Right.
Not everybody, I think everybody would say it'd be nice to have $1 million or it'd be nice to win the lotto, but not everybody really has that drive or will to want to do something that is uncomfortable in order to get good results.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. And it's funny because I remember a couple of years ago, I was like, God, and this is a God moment. It really is, because there is no way. Like, even people that know me now, they're like, you're on social media. I know, they're like, what? I was the shyest person ever. I was so quiet. I wasn't a talker. Like at school, I would get red. My face would blush when someone would ask me a question. I was that person,
Yeah.
And so this is super uncomfortable for me going out in social media, but I know that this is helping people. And that's what it's all about. And when you start thinking that way, oh my God, me telling my story or getting out there in front of people, something's going to resonate, because it happened to me. I resonated with someone's story. I'm like, oh my gosh, if they can do it, I can do it. Mm. And yeah,
that is the thing. Like, and that's even the whole, one of the founding pretenses of this whole entire show is like, I was going out and having these conversations in the coffee shops.
Yeah.
And then I sat and I looked at so many other people that start their business or they want to do something and they're vulnerable. They're too, whether it's prideful, they don't want to get vulnerable and open up because it feels tough and they might get rejection. So they go and do it by themselves and they don't go and have these conversations. And it's like, let's have people on that are normal everyday people. They
Yeah.
got smacked around with challenges and they didn't
Yeah.
give up and they found a way. And if somebody's listening, hopefully they're sitting here listening and being like, I can do this too.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'm in my 50s, which is crazy to say, but it's never
It's
too
crazy
late.
because I don't know about you, but I don't, like, when did that happen?
I don't know. I don't know. It's crazy. I mean, my kids try, my daughter, oh my gosh, like, Mom, like, I didn't even know how to do anything on the phone with social media. And you can teach an old dog tricks. Yes, you can. Because I've learned so much these last 5 months, so much with social media, self-development, people, business, all the things. And I'm still learning, and it's a matter of you plugging in and staying plugged in, because a lot of people that I know that did join when I did have left, they give up too soon
Yep.
because they're thinking, oh, it's money. You have to stop thinking that it's the money. It has to be the purpose. That's what I think. What is my purpose? Because I did ask God, give me a purpose. And I honestly think he put this in front of me for a reason.
Yep.
Yeah. And I love it because it's a faith-based company too. We have a lot of great people in there. It's just faith-based. Yeah, I like what it stands for, and it's a company that's from Europe. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah. So this is like a travel. It's okay if I talk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's dive into it. Tell me about it.
So
Yeah.
MWR Life stands for Making Wishes Real. And it's a travel business. So it's a travel membership based business. The product is like Travel Advantage. So it's like an app you put on your phone and you book trips for yourself, your own family. It's like wholesale prices for trips. Yeah. Think of like Expedia and Booking.com. This
Yeah.
is one that you have your own you're a member of this Travel Advantage and you get wholesale prices on travel. So for me as a hockey mom and a softball mom, I've saved money on booking hotels and things like that, and I mean, we take a vacation once a year. We try to. So it only made sense for me to join. And also the business side of this too. We're coming into an age of like there's 4 trends going with this industry. It's like AI. It's an AI model. It's digitally based. It's all digital. There's no product, no overhead. Yeah. And what's the other one? It's a $9 trillion industry. Travel is a $9 trillion industry. And it's also membership based. Yeah. So it's a membership that you pay for the Travel Advantage app as a member, and you can join as an ambassador as well. I'm an ambassador. And then when you bring, 3 friends join with you, your membership is auto financed. You don't have to pay for anything. So when I saw that, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is great because this is something I'm going to use, and this is going to change a lot of people's lives. There's a lot of moms in here. The one girl that is my friend, she's my mentor also. She joined right at the beginning because this is just new in the United States. We're launching in February. And she was minus 700 in her checking account. Her husband had a very bad accident last year and she was desperate. And she said she would never do any network marketing again. She had bad experience, or, she was done. And she found this opportunity. She jumped in and she has totally turned her life around in like 6 weeks. Yeah. So like a lot of success stories, things like that. And it's a very, lot of integrity, it's a very well-rounded like business company that's, been around since 2017, over 150 countries. It's a debt-free company. It survived COVID.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
So
yeah.
when you tell me, when you say it doesn't launch till February, like you're still able to do stuff now?
Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, it's still available. Like anyone can join. Yeah. So we're like doing an official US launch in February.
Okay.
Yeah, but like people are joining all the time. We've gone from like 0 to 4,000 in since probably last June in the United States, members and ambassadors.
It's exciting when something's brand new.
Yeah.
And there's just really kind of open Wild West territory.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's been a great experience for me in regards to, like I said, self-development. I didn't think I was jumping into something. I honestly didn't know what I was jumping into. I thought I was just going to like, okay, here you go. Here's something you can join. I had no idea. Like when I say I was clueless to all this stuff, business, entrepreneurship type thing, I was.
Yep.
And what I've learned, like it's been incredible, but it's been hard work because you have to do the same thing every single day, the consistency, and you have to get very uncomfortable.
Well, and you know, you addressed when you talked about like, and I went through those same exact feelings, especially when you're not somebody that posts on social media a lot, and all
No.
of a sudden you're posting
Yeah,
all
people
the
are
time.
like,
People are
"What?"
noticing, and they're like, "What are you selling? What are you doing?
Yes.
Why is you know?" They like,
Yes.
and
Yeah,
that all that goes through your mind as
it
you're. It went
does.
through mine
Yeah,
anyways. It's
yeah.
like, and in that battle inside your head
It is a
is a rough
battle.
one.
Yeah. Yeah, and people are gonna judge. Well, that's what I was saying. Oh my God, I'm so worried about what people are gonna think, and you can't. You just can't. You really have to like cross that bridge. It's hard for me. It's hard.
Have you ever heard of Myron Golden? He's a guy I've been listening to a lot, and he brings in
Oh yeah.
like faith in the Bible, and then he brings in like how it's like success principles, like
Okay.
business. Look him up; he's really cool. But he
Yeah.
said something that I was listening to the other day, and it's like it really resonates, and I love it. I've been repeating it as many times as I possibly can. It reminds me of exactly this. It's like we're supposed to, as people, we're supposed to um, please God and serve people. But
Yeah.
instead, we spend our time trying to serve God and please
Please
people.
people. People pleaser.
We're,
Yeah.
we're going in that reverse. And if you think, and you're talking about like changing lives and like finding purpose and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. And I'm a firm believer that God has a purpose for us. You talk about like you're praying for purpose and all
Mhm.
of a sudden this thing lands
Yeah.
out. It's not a coincidence, right?
Mm-mm.
A lot of times, a lot of us will say, oh, it's just a coincidence, or we ignore the
Yeah.
callings. Have you ever read the book, The Alchemist?
No,
Oh,
I've
check
heard
that
of it.
book
I
out.
think
But
I have.
nah, it's
Yeah.
I recommend it as like the entrepreneur journey.
Okay. Yeah.
And it's one of those things that you get these, like it says, look at the omens and the things because these
Really.
are God putting these in
Yeah.
your sight. But most of the time people just either walk by them or they say, oh, I couldn't do that, or so limiting belief. And it takes stepping outside of that comfort zone and taking action.
Yeah.
It
Yeah.
hurts.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
uncomfortable, but man, you get stronger, don't you?
You sure do. You sure do. Yeah. And I feel like it's you're accomplishing stuff too, you know? Yeah.
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 Well,
It's
just even like you talked about being the shy, being shy or being
yeah.
quiet. And then I see you on the videos and on the StreamYard. And now here you are on a podcast
Oh
studio.
my God. If you had told me a year ago I'd be on a podcast, I would have like died. I'm like, no way. No way. No way. There's no way. Yeah, I've come I've come a long way and I'm really proud of myself. I am because it was hard and it was hard being a military wife because like I said, I didn't have my family around me a lot and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. Maybe sometimes it's okay, right? But I was always leaving my friends and it was just hard. My husband was away a lot on ships, but it made me stronger, you know. And when we had our kids, like they're my purpose. Like my kids are my everything. And that's why I do everything, right? That's why we do what we do, right?
Yep.
Yeah. And I did have a hard time. I did go through recovery, and I'm proud to say that I did. I was a wine drinker. I drank wine every single night, for many years. And during COVID, I decided to go to an AA meeting. And so, yeah, that's 5 years ago. A week later, after I went into the AA meeting, now this took me a long time. I had about 7 self help books: how to quit drinking, how to stop drinking. I had this awful torture in my head, every single day. I wanted to stop, but I couldn't. And that scared me, and nobody would think I was that one that was able to balance everything from the outside. But deep down, it was really, really hard because I was struggling inside. And, yeah, I had all these books and I was joining these groups and I just couldn't, it just wouldn't stick. 30 days challenge, blah, blah, the whole thing. And then I went to a Zoom. No, I went to a meeting. I'm like, I'm just going to go. And three days later, COVID hit and everything shut down. The whole world shut down. I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I don't have to drive anywhere. I don't have to do anything. This is fantastic. I can drink all day and not worry about it. That scared me. That thought scared me. So I continued on. I found Zoom meetings. I got sober on Zoom. And it's been 5.5 years.
Wow.
So
Congratulations.
yeah, thanks. And I share that because I don't share it publicly. And if people are listening, that's okay. Because I'm here to tell there are people out there that are struggling with alcohol. And there are moms just like me that are in pain and they don't think they can do anything or change their life, but they can. I am proof. I am putting myself out there. I've found something that's given me the vehicle to get where I want to go, to get where I need to go. And that's MWR Life. It's been life changing for me so far. And being an entrepreneur, it's crazy to say I'm like 54, I think. I forgot what age I was the other day. And you know, it's just a number. It really is
It
just a
is.
number. And my kids are so proud of me, and my husband's so supportive and proud of me, and that's all that matters, you know.
All that
And
matters.
I was at church last week, and the pastor said the only person you have to, like you were saying, that you have to answer to is God. That's it. The only person you have to prove yourself to is God, nobody else. And it's true. And yeah, and the reason I do want to share my story is because I want to help another mom, another person out there that's struggling, because there are lots of them out there, and it's not worth it. It's not a good thing. Yeah.
We go through, I'm a firm believer in this, we go through the situations and the experiences that we do, and at times we don't get why me, why am I going through this? But
Yeah.
we go through that because like those experiences prepare us to be able to serve the people that we're meant to impact and serve. When I went through it, my childhood was crazy. I had an
Yeah.
abusive dad, like all this different stuff, right? And
Yeah.
it's all this, but like it's those are the things that prepared me to be who I am today.
Right.
When I'm going through situations, I developed a career in sales, right? So I'm going through
Mm.
sales. Well, sales people are the most dysfunctional people out there, right? Like that's why they're doing what they're doing.
Yeah.
These people that I'd sit down with them on their one-on-ones, and I'd like pick their brain, figure out what was really going on in their life, and like help them like through it. And they'd always say, like, I feel like you've been through this. It's like I understand it.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I can sit here with empathy and be like, hey, you can't go home.
Yeah.
You can't go home and sit and like be in a victim mindset and like,
Right.
like
Yeah.
just lamenting all the things that are, or
Mm-mm.
be like, today's slow. Yeah. If you today's slow, what are you doing today to make sure that tomorrow is better or next
Right.
week is better?
Yeah.
And if I send you home and say it's okay, I'm just as guilty as you are. I'm setting you up for failure because I'm telling you like oh man, it's too bad for you. No, get your ass up.
Yeah.
You can change. You
Yeah.
can change your outcomes.
Yes. You can change your outcomes. You can just sit down and feel sorry for yourself and be like, poor me, this
Yeah.
is my life. Or you can get out there and change it, because there's so much things you can do with your life. There's so many opportunities now. I mean, 2025, you don't even have to leave your house if you don't want to.
Yeah.
So when people say, I can't work because I got a sore back, or I'm injured, or this or that, or the other, you can actually. Guess what? You can go online and you can make money, a lot of money,
Yep.
but you have to have some grit
You have to have grit.
and show up every single day with the same boring basic stuff. Yeah, and that's the thing with 75 hard. I wanted to do it too, because a lot of the people in my business, like my mentors, they did it, and they're like, try it, do it. And I always thought I wanted to do it, but you know what? My head was like, I can't do that. I can't drink a gallon of water. Yeah, you can. You can do anything.
Yep.
It's crazy how your mindset changes everything. Your mindset, yeah. And yeah, working on your mindset every day is huge too.
It is. It's
Affirmations and
it's
yeah,
everything. They say behaviors drive results, but what
yeah,
controls behaviors?
yeah,
I've watched so many people that know what they're supposed to do. You talk about working out and how many people know that they need to eat a certain way or they know they
yeah.
need to do these XYZ things, but then they don't do them.
Mm-mm.
Why?
Yeah.
What is that controlling,
Yeah. What is
mindset
that?
that
Yeah.
is controlling those behaviors?
Yeah. It's got to be the mindset.
It is for sure.
Yeah. Because your mind is strong. Your mind will do everything. I've ran a couple of marathons, and it's my mind that got me through the last 5 miles for sure.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. Mhm.
Your mind is either telling you to stop or it's like
Yeah.
driving you and you're locked down.
Yeah. You got a vision, whatever. And same with this business. It's like, oh my gosh, I'm not very not knowledgeable. I'm not experienced like some other people. And then you get in your head and you're like, no, stop it right now. It doesn't matter. You can learn. Um, and once you get kind of through that, it's like, no, this is my journey. This is my thing that I'm doing. And everyone's different. The people that are at the top, they've worked their tails off to get there.
Absolutely.
It's not like it comes easy. So you know that.
No, it takes hard work and it takes being uncomfortable. It doesn't just
Yeah,
come easy.
it
And
does.
is it really worth anything if you just got it?
Yeah, it wouldn't be. Yeah. Yeah. It's actually rewarding to know that like you accomplished something and you like really worked for it and got where you wanted to go.
Yeah, I'm a big sports guy, and it's like you look at like if you just won the championship, if every team won the
Yeah.
championship,
Yeah.
like you didn't have to put all that hard work and that sweat and have the adversity and go
Yeah.
through the injuries and all that kind of
Yeah.
stuff. That
Yeah.
celebration at the end, what would it be? Like
Right. It wouldn't mean it would just be another
it'd
thing.
be like rec league,
Yeah.
like it's like
Yeah.
okay, cool, we
Yeah.
won, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, my kids too, especially my oldest girl, she's moved a lot, like 9 different times, and I think it's made her a person that she is today. She's a strong girl, right? She's 20 and she's strong. It's changed her. It's been hard for her, but I've seen her like go through hard things, leaving friends, things like
Yep.
that. My kids had a great life though. We camped, we did all kinds of traveling, you know, but it was hard leaving. That's the hardest thing is leaving friends. Yeah. And but we just make new ones, right?
How do you as a parent, like how do you have those what kind of those conversations like,
With the kids?
They know it's like an expectation, right? But it's like
Oh
it's got to be
gosh.
devastating every time.
Yes. When they were younger, it was fine. They were excited because they're like, oh, we're going to a new place. The last move was hard, moving from Chesapeake, Virginia to here for my oldest. My son was happy because he's a hockey player, so he's going to hockey town. My daughter, middle daughter, was okay with it too. She was 13 at the time, so she was okay. She wanted to snow and be near grandma. My oldest, oh my gosh, she hated me, hated us. Yes, it was a rough senior year in high school for her because,
Senior year. Yeah.
yeah. But now she's going to go to, she did community college in Washington out here for a couple of years, and now she's going to go to, oh my gosh, Michigan State.
Nice. Michigan State.
Yeah,
Nice.
MSU. Yeah.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. What's she
Yeah.
going to do?
She's not sure. She thinks something to do with film, something like that, or marketing, something to do with sports marketing, maybe something like that. She's not really
Okay.
sure.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm proud of her. Yeah. She's done good. She's strong, and the nice thing is my kids are kind. They're able to have a conversation with a grown up, which is a good quality, I think, in a kid, like they've had experiences, even though they don't think they have actually. Guess what? You've moved a lot of different places. You've lived in Alaska, you've moved, you've visited Ireland, they don't think it's a big deal. I'm like, yeah, it is a big deal. Be proud of it.
How many kids have visited Ireland?
Not many.
Like in the
Yeah.
percentages, like
Yeah.
very low.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think traveling has been a great thing for us, and moving around the Coast Guard. I've loved every minute of it. It was hard, but like what's easy, right? Yeah. It's been experience, so yeah.
It's a lot of resiliency, probably.
Yeah. A lot of resiliency. Yeah, for sure.
So, what's been the hardest part so far of starting the business?
Oh my gosh. Not knowing what I was doing at the beginning and doing a lot of wrong things at the beginning. I can cringe. I'm like, no, I didn't do that. Did I say that? Did I message this person? Did I do that? Oh no. And then people not understanding what I'm doing. It's like, I think that's probably, the people not understanding what I'm doing. Probably some of the people that are close to me not understanding, and just, oh gosh, let me see. Just like the doing the same thing every single day and sometimes not seeing results. That's hard.
Yep.
And then the doubt that I put in my head, oh my gosh, is this for me? What am I doing?
Yep. Yep.
But then it goes away.
It's in all of our heads, like
Yeah.
yep.
But jumping in, not knowing what I was doing, and then I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah.
That's when you go through it, it's like, oh, did I do that and that kind of thing. But it's like that's where you can see the growth.
Yeah, you can see the growth. Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. In Kobe Bryant's book Black Mamba, he talks about like I was never afraid to look foolish. And he was like, I was successful because I was never afraid to look foolish. He was like, and what that means is like, if I was in a game, I would try a new move that I'd been working on.
Yeah.
And he was like, a lot of times people don't want to look stupid. And if you're doing a move for the first time in a game, it's gonna fail most likely.
Yeah.
He was like, but I knew if I didn't do it there, I would never do it. And so you have to just go out there and do it. And then at some point you're going to be really good.
Yeah.
And at the stuff that I thought that people were going to laugh at me about, now it's just a completely different story. Now people are like, oh, look at you look so natural.
Yeah.
Oh, look
yeah.
at,
Yeah. 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 It's kind of like, what you said I couldn't, but I'm going to watch me, watch me.
Watch
Watch me a
me.
year from now.
Exactly. Well, and that's even like the people that are like, oh, you try it first, like, oh, cool,
Yeah.
but then watch me.
Yeah. 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 I had to just do something. I wanted to do something. I wanted to challenge myself, do something different, do something. Like I said, God put this in front of me because I asked, what's my purpose, right? What can I do to help people? Um, yeah, and then I want to be like when my kids are older and when they leave us, what are we going to do? I want to do something. So this is travel, it involves travel, and it's a great community. It's absolutely incredible. It's been a lot of fun for me.
Well, so then let's dive in because I love this when you think about network marketing. One of the things that can be really hard sometimes is like buying the product. And there's a lot of great product. I've been a part of a few different
Yeah.
types of companies, and the reason why I got into them is because I believed in the product, and
Yeah.
and so. But then in order to really make money, there's like this limit,
Yeah.
or like then you like all this stuff, and all of a sudden you're buying all this stuff, and it has a high.
Yeah.
So I really like when you talked about how there's not overhead that you're sitting
No,
on.
there's no overhead, there's no quotas, there's no monthly quotas, which I love, and there's no overhead because it's all digital. It's all digital. It's a digital product. And yeah, so the only overhead would be the monthly fee to be a member, which is $119. And then once you have 3 people join you with your affiliate link, that's on auto financed. We get paid daily, weekly, monthly, 9 different ways from one income stream. Yeah, it's a pretty robust, generous compensation plan.
So then, like, when you're going to travel, do you just go to an app, or like how does that work
Yeah,
out?
so it's an
Yeah.
app on your phone. If you want, if let's say I wanted to book a trip or a cruise, I go on the app and I book the cruise on the app. Yeah, and you can compare it to other things. We've done comparisons, and the hotels and the cruises are probably the most with the most discounts. Yeah, they have car rentals on there, and they have a luxury mall, which is like your duty free items.
Hmm.
Your perfumes, your $30 leggings to your like $4,000 Gucci bag, which I'm not into.
Yeah, yeah.
Things like it's like a duty free shop, and that's what actually kept them afloat over during COVID was the luxury mall. Funny enough,
That's interesting.
yeah, yeah, yeah. But the fact that there's no quotas and there's no deadlines, and a lot of people will just want to travel. A lot of people just want to come in and not pay their monthly fee, and they'll get 3 friends to join them, and that's it. And yeah, so I've used it for hockey tournaments, a couple of softball tournaments, and I've saved a few $100s, like about $600 in a couple of months, just from those few games and stuff. Yeah, so it's like wholesale prices, like Costco. You can think going to Costco, you get your wholesale prices on your food. It's just travel, and you're doing your own. You're not a travel agent for people. This is your own personal trips for yourself. Yeah, and we have life experiences which are curated like their experiences where they're like kind of there are certain dates and some of them are all inclusive. They might have like all breakfast included, or they might have trips. They have a big one that was in Dubai last year, and it was like experiences in Dubai, and it's for you can use after being a member for a year. You get points. You get loyalty points when you join as a turbo member, or as a elite member or turbo member. You get points. So as an elite member, you get 120 every month, which is like dollar for dollar. As a turbo member, you get 240, which is like dollar for dollar into like a little travel bank. So at the end of 12 months, you have about, as a turbo member, that's what I am, is you'd have about $3,000 worth of travel. And then you can put that towards one of the life experience trips for 2 people. And it's pretty much like you're getting a vacation just using your travel points that you accumulated over the year just for being a member.
Wow.
Yeah. It's pretty cool.
So essentially, like, if you're traveling, it's essentially worth the membership fee.
Yeah, yeah, because even if you don't want to use it as business, you can be a traveler and you're going to pay $120 a month, but you get back that money in travel points. As an elite member, you get 120. As a turbo, you get 240. So you're doubling it. Yeah. So it's like a win-win.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And it's been around like a lot. It's a 4.9 in Trustpilot, 4.8 in Trustpilot. Yeah, it's not something new. It's been around 150 countries. And if you could survive in France, the transportation laws and rules, travel stuff in France, you can like make it anywhere, they say. Yeah.
That's amazing.
strict rules and stuff. Yeah.
But again, how exciting is that it's just now launching in the US? So you're like
Yeah.
really literally on the
The
ground
beginning, we're on
floor.
the ground floor. Yeah. So people don't know about it. So then it's like, so we're doing a 90-day blitz right now
Yeah.
globally. And everyone around the world, that's in MWR Life. We're doing it together, and we have trainings and calls, and like they give us a blitz, where like they give us a whole blueprint on how to build your business.
Mm.
So that's been a lot of fun too, and just getting the word out there. It's going to get out there. People love to travel. It's a $9 trillion industry. Yeah.
Well, and again, you're boiling it down, and I think even like looking down at travel and talking like specifically, and because like, do you travel? And people might think like to the Grand Cayman or to something like that, and you might do one a year, and like, is it going to really pay off? But when you sit and dissect it and be like, all right, you're around other hockey moms,
Right.
you guys are traveling, you're
Yeah.
spending money on hotels. It just
Yeah.
makes sense.
It makes sense. That's what you think. Yeah. Yeah. So I have to learn too. And that's another part of me learning this. How do I present this without sounding spammy?
I'm excited because we talked about boot camp beforehand, and I'm like, my wheels are spinning. I'm like, I got your sales. All right.
Yes. Yes.
Because it's that, and again, it's when you're like, it's serving people, right?
Yeah.
Here's a good example. I had this, and Ryan, I'm just gonna shout you out and throw you under the bus because you deserve it. So maybe I'll cut that part out. Sorry, but I have a guy that was he wanted to sign up his sales manager for boot camp, or a salesperson for boot camp, and actually he said, give me a quote on what it would look like to help train her. And so I gave him 3 options.
Yeah.
And he was like, in the call, just send me the invoice, right? And mind you, yesterday, he's a car detailer and car painter.
Mm-hmm.
And mind you, the day before yesterday, he posted on Facebook about how he hates it when people are all ready to book or ready to set the appointment, or like pull the trigger and do the thing until they see the price, and then all of a sudden they're like backtracking, right?
Right.
And so I just followed up with the guy yesterday because I'm like, hey, boot camp's about to be filled up. I've been putting this aside for your person. I want to make sure she's in so I can, because if not, it's going to be sold out, and, I can't get her in. And he said, he followed up and said that, with the price tag and stuff like that, he's a little iffy and not sure whether you can do it. And I responded back because this is the thing. If you're going through a slow season and you have a salesperson that you're paying money that I know can't sell.
Yeah.
Like, she's brand new to sales and
Right.
she needs help. And if she doesn't get help, she's going to burn out because she's just going to be making cold calls, and she's going to get frustrated, and she's never going to get results. And then either you're going to fire her or she's going to quit.
Yeah.
One of the two things is going to happen.
Yeah.
Or you're going to pay somebody for a really long time that makes no money. None of these are good situations. And so I responded back, and because listen, my boot camp's going to be filled up either way. I don't have any, like, I'm not trying to sell you. I'm not trying to be like, oh my God, you got to get in. Like, oh my God, what do you're pulling the money away from me. I was like, hey, you know what? This sounds like your post yesterday. And I was like, at least you didn't say you had to ask your wife. So we're good there. Cause he was talking about like, ladies, do you know that your husbands blame you most of the time? Or like, just let him get his car detailed or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, at least you didn't blame your wife. And he was like, haha. And I was like, I'm like, but at the end of the day, like, you're going to continue having bad seasons until you have a salesperson that can actually sell.
Right.
No pressure, because my boot camp's going to be filled up either way, but think about it. Can you help her get her to where she needs to be?
Yeah.
And if not, is that a good investment for you to even pay her? Because if you can't pay this, then you might as well not pay her. Just flat out. Don't pay her. Don't pay someone to waste money.
Right.
And, he signed up.
Good.
But it's one of those things, like, you know what? I can help you. And if not, all good. Like, I'm not worried about it. But I also, I like you as a person. And like, don't pay that person if you can't put the investment into them to train them and get them to where they need to be, because they're gonna dread coming to work and making cold calls.
Yeah. 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 You have to, invest in you have to spend money to make money, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. But then, and this is where it's fun, because like, if you can help somebody, like you have a hockey mom that's traveling and just spending all this money, why wouldn't she do it?
Right. Yeah. And I have a lot of hockey moms, and it's like, that's another thing too. I'm like, oh, I approached them too soon at the beginning and kind of was a little bit, didn't build that relationship, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
You got to build a relationship so they trust you, they like you. Yeah.
Yeah, and then so this is gonna be fun. I love it, but yeah, it's really, and then what are they doing? What's their life like? How are we serving them? For Ryan, I knew, hey, you can't sell if you don't. You're wasting money here. Like either way, like I can call you out a little bit. You know.
Yeah.
And hey, if you don't sign up, you weren't going to sign up anyways. Like I'm just like, I look at it from I can help you. If not, either way,
Yeah.
But literally, they're spending money.
Yeah.
They're spending money on travel. And if you're looking at it and you're able to save $600, that's outweighing your $119.
Well, right. And it's just like you join, it's only a one-time fee to join, either $340 something to join as a Elite member, and then Turbo, which is the best deal, is $588. And with that, you get your ambassador, $99 ambassador, to be a license, a business license, you could say, right? To be an ambassador. So, and that's one-time fee. And then that's it. Like it's fun.
Yeah.
But the community is what I love the most. I've met all kinds of great people. Yeah. And I love and I didn't know it was like this because I never did anything like this before. Self-development is one thing. And then our leaders are like, they treat us all like we can do this. They believe in us and they show us what they did. They could be like, just do this, but they pour into us like so much. They really do. Yeah.
This was all, and we started talking before we were recording, saying that growing up in my small town of Durand, you look at all this from Durand. But it's one of those things there's not a lot of entrepreneur mindset or that kind of thing where I grew up.
Right.
And then I got around, I started working in an organization where I was selling, and I met a guy that intrigued me. He was super confident. We ended up becoming really good friends, and he was in Amway at the time. It was called Quickstar back then.
Okay.
When they did their online surge, and it was called Quickstar. And so I was 21, 22, around that age, 20, 21, 22, somewhere around there. And it was for the first time in my life that I got around positive thinking people.
Yeah.
It was, I got introduced to books that I'd never heard of.
Yeah.
I didn't read very much at that time. And then all of a sudden I'm reading How to Win Friends and Influence People.
Yeah, that's what I've read too. That was the first one I read since I joined.
Yeah. That's awesome. That was my first one.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Yeah. There's so many principles that I've used throughout just remembering people's names.
Every person in the world should read that book, no matter what you do.
Absolutely.
Treating like using a person's name, smiling at somebody, right?
It's all the simple stuff.
The argument and the whole, that's the way everyone should live.
It is. I don't know if I would have, how would I ever found that book? I wasn't into personal development. I wasn't into reading really, and so that comes along, and then getting around people that were working the business, having success.
Yeah.
And there's people from all types. There's not very many things that you can just start doing where all of a sudden you're around people that were doctors and lawyers, their professions.
Yeah.
I was 21, 22. I didn't come from a family of success. I didn't come from an area where there was all this mindset. And so that changed my life. All of a sudden I was reading these books. All of a sudden I'm around these people. I knew I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I knew I wanted to make a difference and an impact in the world. I would always picture myself up speaking on the stages and all that kind of thing. And it was the first initial vehicle of doing that network marketing that, that it was more than the product we sold. It was more than it was making the calls. It was doing the things that were just uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yeah.
Especially for a 21-year-old kid that nobody takes seriously.
I know. You're just going to think, oh, he's just another salesman. Yeah.
Believe me, I hit all of our family. You probably have. Doesn't go over here. No.
Not really.
Not really. No, you knew. No.
I did say to someone in my family, like, "Oh, you're just trying to sell me something." I'm like, "That's it. I'm not selling any of you anything. If you don't want to, whatever,
Yeah.
it's okay."
Well, and it's hard because in a lot of things, whether you're in real estate or network marketing, they
Yeah.
like, go through and talk to your friends and family. And those are the people
Oh,
that like, they look at you like, oh, what are you doing? And
yeah.
like, oh, you never posted before.
Yeah, they're like
They're the worst people
shocked.
to go to
They
because they
are.
pull you down to being like who you think you are in your
Right.
head.
Right. Exactly. That's funny you say that. Yeah. I know.
I don't know why they say those are the first people. Maybe to like get your
They
endurance
should
up.
do the hard part first.
Because I would rather talk to a stranger about my idea than like go to
Right.
somebody that like,
Yeah.
I know is
Yeah.
not gonna see the
Yeah.
value in it.
I
One,
know.
two, they see you as a little kid, or they see you as I
Yeah.
was 21 and was not having a successful life.
Oh,
So like
yeah.
it's up to that point.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. That's my mentor, Dana Flanagan. She's a very successful business lady, entrepreneur. She's a coach. And she's like, I never ask my friends and family anything. They will be the last ones that will join your business.
Yep.
Yeah. So,
And my mom was a huge supporter. She was always a customer, no matter what I did.
yeah.
Whether I was selling cell phones or I was in network marketing, she always bought the stuff that I was doing. So
Yeah.
great supporter. But then there's like people when
Oh,
you're
that's
trying
nice.
to build a business, and
Yeah. And they don't understand. That's why. Yeah.
Yep.
And
That's why I said that earlier. Is you think when you're like you could be successful, you could quit your job, you could do these things, and not everybody wants to do that.
no, not everyone wants to do that. And not everyone will think the same as you either. So that's another thing that's kind of hard. Well, why can't you see what I see? You're going to like make money. Plus you're going to save money on travel. What's wrong with you? Not everyone's going to think like that because they think, oh, I've got to sign up for something. No, thanks.
Yeah.
But
I like when you put it like that. It's like you sign up for Costco. Costco
well,
is
yeah.
a membership.
I mean, it's a membership. It's like being a member of a golf course or Netflix or like when I look at all my memberships, we have. I mean, you have Netflix, you have Costco, you got Sam's Club. I mean, it's a membership. It's a world of memberships now. A gym membership. You pay for apps in your phone.
Yep.
So this is just very what. But people will come around because it's new. And Europeans travel differently to Americans too, I feel. In Europe, they travel a lot more. They get kind of time off more from work too. And I just think they travel more. They're more jet setters because you can just go to like Europe from Ireland, you can jump on a plane for $25 and be in France in 2 hours, you know. But Americans, you can do staycations, you can go away for a weekend somewhere nice, and use this app as well. You don't have to travel. You don't have to get on a plane.
Well, so you talked about like even car rentals and all that kind of
Car
stuff.
rentals, yeah. There's an activity tab on there where like if you're in your local, like I looked on the Detroit one the other day and it was like the museum and the walking tours of Detroit and all the different activities they have in your area. They also have the AI model. I played with that too. And you can talk to the AI and say, okay, I want to go to Costa Rica. I have a budget of $1,000. I like seafood. I'm allergic to gluten or whatever. It will plan everything out for you.
Whoa.
It's crazy.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah, and
I was wondering when you're talking about AI, I'm like, I can't wait to hear how this
planner.
interacts.
Yeah, it's an AI planner. So you plug in where you're going. You put in 5 different things you like, activity wise, and it's going into the second phase now, where it's going to even to go more detail. It'll say tomorrow it's going to rain. Bring your rain jacket. Things like that. So it'll plan everything for you, which is nice because a lot of people are stressed when it comes to traveling, and I like the budget part too.
Well, that's okay. So like if I'm traveling or I'm going to go somewhere, I'm like, planning a little anniversary getaway weekend somewhere in Michigan or something like that, or like a golf weekend or whatever. I'm going to AI anyways. I'm using my ChatGPT and I'm like, this is what I want to do. This is the budget. This is where we want to hit downtown. We want to hit the golf course, like, blah, blah, blah. And then it will like give me like areas.
Yeah.
And I just started doing it this summer. And it's so cool. But then you combine the piece that I can't get from ChatGPT in the sense of like, here's your budgeting, your discounts that you're getting off the lodging off them. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. Yeah. And I've priced out a lot of things too. And there are some times where it won't always be cheaper, but they do have an 150% where they'll give you or match it. If you find something that's not matched or not cheaper than what their app is, because they have that guarantee. Yeah, definitely cruises and resorts, hotels. And like I said, they have those life experiences, which are planned, certain dates throughout. They have so many. They have Bali, Maldives. You can use your travel points towards that, your travel advantage points towards that. It's like a little savings of travel money, and you put it towards those trips.
Wow.
Kind of lets people, you know what, I'm going to vacation. I'm going to take my kids on a trip. And they roll over every year. So let's say it's a young mom with young kids. I don't travel. Well, you can in a few years when they're older. Maybe you want to take them to Disney and you'll have all this travel points, dollar for dollar, saved up in your little travel bank that you can use. It's like a reward. It's like your credit card. You get flights, you get airline miles, like that, right?
Wow.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And you talked about like the 9 different income streams and that kind of thing.
Yes.
Like that's really cool. And like the
Yes.
creative ways. And then yet you're still trapped banking up points.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's because they've no overhead, they've no manufacturing costs, they've no staff to pay. They do have a customer service. We're the marketers, the ambassadors are. And they've no buildings, everything's digital, so they've no overhead in regards. That's why they're so generous with their compensation plan.
You talk about like kind of God dropping this in your lap, and I love the things where it's like this really ties to your life and your experiences.
Yeah.
Even the beginning of your story, talking about like
going all the way from Ireland to Cayman. Yeah,
yeah.
I know. I just have to travel. When I saw travel, I'm like, oh my gosh, what is this thing? And I had a digital marketing course. All I wanted to do was do reviews on Amazon. That's all I wanted to learn, and learn Canva and do little bits and pieces of things. and then I didn't realize that the reason these moms are making this money is because they're reselling the courses. I'm like, I'm not a salesperson. Gross. No, thank you. I don't want to do that. And so she's like, but the girl that she's like, if you want to make money, you're going to have to try and sell it to people. Yeah. And I'm like, no. So all last summer I was on TikTok talking to myself. I'm like, oh, thank God that phase is over. But I just want to get out and share this with people that want to hear this. And they're looking for opportunities, residual passive income, that want to travel, that like have plans to travel. They may not travel yet, but they may want to travel. Business-minded people that see the business model of this, because it is at ground level in the United States. Yeah, so we're looking for strong leaders, and a very small price to get into a business. That's the thing. And people think, oh, it's too good to be true. Well, yeah, I thought so too, but it's been around 12 years, so something's working,
Yep.
So, yeah.
Again, it's so cool because I'm a firm believer that I think most people can be salespeople. Most people can sell, because when you're passionate about something and when something aligns,
yeah.
and it plugs in, like you can see very clearly how to use this.
Mm-hmm.
Like you heard the word travel and you're like, oh yeah, it makes sense. Let me look at it, And so it plays into your life, and whether it's traveling for hockey or, taking a vacation or just moving, traveling around the world. And, so you can see immediately how it plugs in. Now it's like finding those people in it's solving a problem versus selling, because
it is solving a problem.
You're doing this. Why wouldn't you do this?
Yeah. It's helping people save money on travel. Plus, if you're looking for an income stream, you're building a legacy. It's also a legacy company that you can hand down to your kids, It just makes sense. Yeah. Building a legacy, creating memories with your family. That's the best thing you could do for your family, is take them on trips, no matter where it is. It can be down the street to a Holiday Inn and swim in the pool, and get to work from home, get to work from anywhere, because your job is, you're just sharing this with people. You're creating content,
Yeah.
And I kind of like it now. It's fun.
It's fun, and it really does motivate people. Like, I'm watching, and I've watched I've seen your progress through the process. So it's cool, and I see what you're talking. And like, It's fun. I love seeing you pop up in my feed, and then I saw you join the Howl Chamber, and I'm
I
like, oh,
did.
so cool.
Yes, I'm very excited about that. I went to an event the other day. It was the networking, speed networking.
Yes, I was
That
gonna
was
go, but my
cool.
guest got here early, and so I couldn't. I
Okay.
had to end up not making it. But
Yeah, and I'm going to do an event. I'm going to have an event there too. Also, a presentation. Do a presentation of MWR Life with
perfect.
my teammate that's living here in Michigan too. So yeah, hopefully we'll do that in the next few weeks.
That's amazing. And like getting out there and
Yes.
doing presentations and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like I was telling you earlier, like that's how I got out there was just
Yeah.
lining with the
Getting in front
chambers
of
and
people.
doing. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. Because this is something that people are looking for that need. This is something that people need. I needed it, so I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, do you travel? Do you want to
Do
travel
you want
more?
to? Do you want to yeah. Do you want to create memories with your family? Do you want an extra income stream? Yeah.
So, because you're used to moving, but
Yeah.
it's doing a business where you are you have to meet people and grow your relationships, and it's in a brand new
I
community.
know, it's crazy. Yeah. It's uncomfortable, of course, but I did it. Yeah, I did it the other day and it was nice. I did some nice people there. Yeah. I met that one girl that was in your Christy, is it Christy?
She's so funny. I was gonna be like,
Yes.
yeah, Christy. Christy was like when I first met her, she was like, I am not a salesperson. She was like, I've always been in the back end, like
Yeah.
like product development or helping clean the salespeople's messes up, and
Yeah.
but now she's everywhere.
Yeah.
And like the coolest thing is watching her build those relationships with
Oh,
people.
that's good. Yeah. That's what it's about, was building relationships. Yeah.
I was a sales director for a company before I started this job, and I was always working. I was always working, which I always work now. But my work involves going and meeting new people and building relationships with people that I didn't know existed 8 years ago when I started my business. And I was around most of the time the people that I worked with.
Yeah.
And then I'm the sales director. And so these people aren't really my friends.
Okay.
They're like, I had close relationships, right?
Yeah.
I have relationships that have now grown into friendships at, 8 years, like now down the road. But when you're the boss per se, and I hate that term, but when you're at the top of the leadership chain, you don't really have friendships with your people. And so, that was my life. And then here, 8 years, the best part, the funnest part has been all these relationships. And then it's cool when people are like, oh, everybody. Or when you're like, hey, when Todd reached out and was like, hey, do you know any real estate agents?
Oh my
and I can
gosh,
connect you
you're
to the
known all over the
Pakellas.
place. Yeah. And our painter as well.
Oh, yeah.
Ryan.
Ryan, yeah. Ryan Sinchek,
He hooked us up with a lot of great people. Yeah. Angela and Don are great. Yeah.
Well, and it's so cool because I always wanted, when you can add value to other people's lives, it's what it's all about. And when somebody can come to you confidently and be like, hey, do you know somebody? It's like, I'm going to connect you with the best person. Like, and there's a couple of them, but the Pakellas are awesome.
Yeah, absolutely. For sure. You have your appointments, 4:10.
It's a 4:10. Okay. Awesome. Is there anything else you want to add in?
I think I'm okay.
You okay?
Yeah, I think so.
This has been awesome. And again, it's fun because it's like we've never done this. So sit down and like learn more and dive deeper. This has been a really fun conversation.
Yeah, it's been great. Thanks, Jason.
My pleasure. And good for you for getting out of that box and like being on a podcast and creating your content. And like,
if I can do this, anybody can do this for sure. No, really. Yeah. Anybody. Anything's possible. Yeah.
I love it. That's a great way to end it.
Thanks, Jason.
Gosh. How'd it feel?